Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. This is another episode of What's in My Bookcase. And oh God, I could have used some hand lotion. And it is, I believe, part 5 of the art book series. So let's get right to it. I think this will be the last one in this series. Okay, you probably can't see this, but this book is 15, count 'em, 15 inches tall and 11 and a quarter wide. It's called Impressionism, The Painters and the Paintings by Bernard Denbigh. A little bit of damage at the top, or wear, not damage. I'll just check the date, show you some pages, and then move on to the next one. Okay, this is 1991. It seems like I bought a heck of a lot of books in the art books in the 90s. And if you've been watching some of the other episodes, you will know that a lot of them were Costco purchases. So obviously with a book this size, many of the images are gigantic as well. Matisse, Toulouse-Lautrec, James Ensor, don't know him. Oh, well, for sure you can't see all this. Degas, Claude Monet, Renoir, Cézanne. I'm not even trying to show you these because there just isn't the possibility of that. Pissarro, Cézanne. I've always kind of felt partial to these people that sort of almost seem to outline the shapes. I don't know if I'm regressing to my coloring book days, you know, where you had that nice heavy black line around everything and you just filled in. Boy, these fold-outs. This book is gorgeous. You have to eat your Wheaties, though, before you can pick it up, unassisted. It has been ages. Renoir, this is a famous one. We've all seen it before. Oh, and this, well, can you see? Let's see what you can see. Oh, yeah. This full page is just a detail from over here. Doing this series for your benefit has been great for me because it's gotten me to look at these books again. And I've also discovered duplicates. In the last couple of videos, I've shown you titles by Hazel. I should be able to remember that. Hazel Harrison. Well, I found a duplicate as I was gathering these books. And I also found a hardcover copy of Nicolaides, The Natural Way to Draw. So I'll see if I have anything very brilliant written in the paperback one. And, you know, typically it's more valuable to save, to have a hardcover as opposed to a paperback, so, or a soft cover, I mean. And more. Oh, that's kind of domestic. Got a little munchkin at the table. Mind you, most of us don't have the maid lurking in the corner. Yes, these are wonderful, wonderful. Claude Monet, painted in 1876. Edward Manet. Whistler. Well, we've certainly seen our share of naked bodies in the last several weeks of these art books, haven't we? Okay, let's move on. A goofy looking guy. Oh, she's so wistful. And smoking. Okay, let me, I'll put it on the floor. With a thud. Okay, the rest of, well, this next one is big. And then after that, they'll be a more manageable size. Oh, Impressionist prints. That's a good cover. Oh, this is a baby one. It's only 14 1/8 by 11 3/4. I'll just position myself. The price written on the book jacket is $85. Did not pay that. 1974. I'm sure this is one of those that I bought used. Little in this index, you know, a paragraph or so, or a few lines about the artist, and then a description of the pieces. Very matte paper. So far we haven't seen anything terribly eye-catching, or at least, okay. And go, the potato eaters. These are kind of, not so sure about these. They tend to be dark, and okay, maybe we're getting to something a little more. Mary Cassatt, the crocheting lesson. She tended to paint mothers and children. I don't know why they did some of these on yellow paper, but it's, you know, a lot of sketches or studies and almost monochromatic. Yeah, I'm not that thrilled with this one. It had to have been a hell of a deal for me to buy it. I think I could sacrifice this one to a journal project if I needed to, wanted to. Very big paper. Okay. I was thinking afterwards I maybe should have divided the books into instructional versus, you know, those that are just kind of a reproduction of completed works. So this one, 1919. So it was Introduction to Pastel and Acrylic by Ronald Pearsall. Always thought I wanted to try my hand at pastel, but never really did. I mean, there's a certain amount of mess and extra steps that come with that. But yet, sometimes you can get some really incredible results. I mean, if you know what you're doing. I think people do pet portraits quite a bit in pastel. Oh, we're babysitting our grand dog, Gertie, the French Bulldog. So, you know, that first morning pee, that first outing of the day, I let her smell every blade of grass and go everywhere she wanted to. I mean, we keep her on a leash because we can't have her running amok. She doesn't know anything about traffic. Not that we really have. I think somebody drove by 2 days ago. Anyway, there was a bunny on the road. Seen it occasionally, but, you know, usually when there's one, there have to be others. But I don't know where they are. Okay, this one is Rembrandt Paintings, Drawings, and Etchings. Quite a good cover for a journal, and it's, oh, I forgot to tell you the size in the last one. I guess it probably doesn't matter. 11 3/8 by 8.5. So this is obviously 1963. Paper is very matte. I think it's all black and white. Yes. Oh, maybe one. For some reason, I have page flags on there, so I don't know why. There are a number of portraits in here. Even did a beggar. Yeah, this one probably lends itself more to using for collage than anything. Self-portrait, 1668. You know, I know that I said that there really isn't any subject matter that's off limits, but I can't imagine spending time and energy doing that. These all tend to be on the very dark side. I guess that was part of his thing. She looks a little bit in pain. Okay, next one. I would almost suggest that this was probably another Costco purchase. And again, Hazel Harrison. She's been at it again. This time she teamed up with Alfred Daniels. 11 1/4 by 8 3/4. So it's called the Complete Painting Course, Watercolors, Oils, and Acrylics. Oh. Broken. Maybe it's older than I think it is. 1988. Well, that's not that old, really. Jeez, totally separating from its, whatchamacallit, cover. In a case like this, if a person did take it apart, again, I would be using it for collage or art journal, like especially these faces that were back here. You know, she'd be good, he'd be good. I, last night, just to relax a bit, I did a couple of spreads in my art journal just for the heck of it. I will tape some of those. There she is. Just for a change of pace, and also because it's a way to actually get something done. You know, it's maybe this is how you feel about things and time. You know, we tend to do the things we have to do first, hoping that there will be time left to do the things we want to do. That's not necessarily, I mean, it's the responsible thing to do. It's the mature thing to do. It's the way I've lived my whole life. But truly, it is not perhaps the most fun way to live either. I've seen this before. 1502. Got somebody peeking in the door here. We have some outside work to do, so that's probably my signal that I need to be out there to help him. First things first, man. I like this book because don't we all want to know what the celebrities are up to? It's quite old. Let's just see. 92. 11 by 8.5. So, you know, a lot of actors and so on have, let's see if we can find someone we know. Jonathan Winters. Oh. Ku Klux Klan. Billy D. Williams. Cornell Wilde. I can't say I know who he is. I don't know her. Don't know him. Rod Taylor. Buck Taylor. Sally Struthers. Elkie Summer. See that whole kind of outlined look? Dinah Shore. And of course, this book is old, so there are many more actors, I'm sure, painting, and the ones that are in here, if they're still alive, have certainly, I'm sure, done more than that. Jane Seymour. Remember she played that doctor? What the heck was her name? Sort of that Western frontier town doctor. Edward G. Robinson. I don't know who that is. Madeline Rue. She looks familiar. Oh, Burt Reynolds. Charcoal. I don't know this guy. Robert Redford. Tommy Rawl. Anthony Quinn. Self-portrait. Eve Plum. Slim Pickens. Jack Palance. Jeff Osterhage. I don't know who that is. Kim Novak. Martin Mull. Oh, okay, I remember that face. Zero Mostel. I think he's been gone a long time. Michael Moriarty. Isn't he Law and Order guy? George Montgomery, don't know him. Jim McMullen. Doug McClure. Oh, wasn't he a little heartthrob back in the day? Lee McCluskey. It's kind of interesting. George Maharis. Oh my goodness, these are all names that I haven't thought of for ages. Piper Laurie. Sally Kirkland. Doesn't this kind of look like collage? Steve Canale. Van Johnson. Ann Jeffries. Anthony James. John Huston. Or Houston? Huston? I don't know. Bo Hopkins. Katharine Hepburn. So there. Jerry Harden, don't know who that is. Gene Hackman. That's cool. Colleen Gray. Cliff Gorman. Bruce Glover. Dick Gauthier. Surprisingly, he called this one Redbeard. John Forsythe. Henry Fonda. That's pretty... Peter Falk. Remember him as Columbo? That rumpled overcoat and that lazy, well, I think it may be a blind eye, but a lazy eye that he had. And he'd leave the room and he'd come back with one of those penetrating questions, or maybe the solution to the case of a whodunit. Phyllis Diller. Hazel Court, don't know her. Gary Conway. Claudette Colbert. Robert Clary. Barbara Carrera. James Cagney. Pierce Brosnan. David Bowie. Richard Bamer. Candace Bergen. Ralph Bellamy. Noah Berry. Lionel Barrymore. Lou Ayres. Michael Ansara. Teague Andrews. Steve Allen. Betty Ackerman. And there you have it. The alphabet in reverse. Okay, I have a few more to go. Painting and drawing course. 12 by 9. A lot of these are in mint condition. Let's find the date. 88. So I think we're going to see much of what we've seen before. Some lessons. Some ancient works. Color swatches. I guess that this would have been, divided into, not the media, but the figure, portraits, landscape, still life. So that's how this one is set up. nice. Pastel again. Mary Cassatt again. More black and white in this one than color, really. I don't know who this cat is. Hey, Mona. Hey, Mona. Do you know that this is very tiny in real life? They don't give the size here. Considering it's graced everything from paintings to prints to you name it, it is really quite small. Da Vinci. Okay. Well, let's do this one next. This is a box set. I distinctly remember buying this at Costco. It's 2 volumes, all Picasso. These books are 9 1/4 by 7 1/2. A face only a mother could love. 1995. Okay. There is obviously, you know, the sort of the evolution of his style pretty well recognizable. Oh, one interesting little factoid. When I was taking art classes, so that would have been in the 90s, I guess, the instructor had made acquaintance, friends, whatever, with a woman, and she was old at the time, in Edmonton, who had some original Picasso pieces in her possession. And the instructor arranged for us to go to her house and see them. Now, some of them obviously were small, and it was probably before he hit his, you know, the peak of his. I like these. Before he hit his, you know, fame or whatever. So, but there were little sketches and studies, and I mean, it is actually kind of mind-blowing to think that I don't remember the story of how she got them. Whether, I just don't know, I shouldn't guess. But it just kind of blows one's mind to think that somebody had the foresight to maybe recognize some talent before it was widely recognized. You know, you take a chance. You, if you're buying it, you get in kind of on the ground floor while the art is still cheap. Oh my goodness. 1972 for this one. Eek. And then, if you have the foresight and the time and whatever to hang on to it, it really appreciates in value. And of course, you always have the stories, the provenance about the particular the particular thing. And I guess that's maybe the value of going through art galleries, is that presumably, well, allegedly, some of these people have kind of, if they're good, have a feel for whose career is on the upswing and who, get in early, and you kind of, oh my goodness, I'm losing my train of thought here. People with experience who can spot emerging talent, and sometimes those early works are affordable, and then the person becomes more famous, and then you live happily ever after, because now you're rich and famous. I mean, you, the art buyer. That was virtually 8 by 10. This is kind of a softish cover. It's called Art of the 20th Century, Painting, Sculpture, New Media, and Photography. So, I guess this is probably the biographies, or a little, okay, that covers whose work is in here, I guess. I had my nails done the other day, and the lady for the last 10 years or so has been working out of her home, and I noticed in her, her subdivision that there was a sign for a garage sale, because it was like Friday. And I said to her, "Have you checked out the garage sale?" She's originally Vietnamese. Well, I mean, she's still Vietnamese. She was a refugee from Vietnam. Anyway, I was basically just pulling her chain, because I know how she feels about garage sales. She is very, very clean, like almost obsessive compulsive about the cleaning. So the notion of her buying somebody's stuff that may be dirty. And we kind of, she talked about shoes and clothing, and how she'd never, ever, ever, ever do anything like that. Anyway, then she finally admits that she's been to one garage sale in her life, and she didn't find a treasure. And I said, "Oh my God. You think that you are going to go to one garage sale?" We keep seeing this one, don't we? Nude descending a staircase. You think that you can go to one garage sale and end up with $1 million piece of art that's worthy of the Antiques Roadshow? So, of course, we had a good laugh over that, because it's probably not going to happen. I says, I think you have to go to a few more before you totally decide that garage sales are, not your shtick. I says, sometimes you can find things that are in perfect condition, that are still unsealed and new. Okay, this is 1985. It's called Cambridge Introduction to the History of Art, the 19th Century. Smallish book compared to 9.5 by a little over 6.5. Oh, and this is probably going to see, like, why would I buy a book like this? I should probably take this one apart and use what I can. Sculptures. The odd color plate in here. Most of them are black and white. Anyway, yeah, who hasn't dreamed of one of those Antiques Roadshow types of discoveries? Copyright 1963. Color, Structure, and Design by Richard Ellinger. Another small book. Oh, and I guess a textbook because it came from the University of Manitoba. If I find anything interesting, I'll pause and show you, okay? Yikes. Oh my goodness. Well, this is also going to help me cull my book collection. Huh. Neutral gray. We were all told by our instructor that if we're photographing, and of course that was back in the day with like real cameras, if you were photographing any art for the purpose of making slides, for heaven's sakes, for the to submit to a show or whatever, that you needed to have your art against a neutral gray background so that it wouldn't alter the colors that you were using. A Reader's Digest book, Learn as You Go, Sketching School, and this is the last one. So yeah, there I had, and do it with natural light, north-facing light. So I got some gray paint, a neutral gray paint, got a piece of plywood, painted it, had Roy drill some holes in it so that I could hang this damn thing outside and somehow attach pieces of art to it to take photos. Like, oh my goodness. And, photography wasn't what it was. I mean, certainly amateur photography wasn't what it is now, and how capable and versatile even our phone cameras are. Anyway, I'm flipping and not talking about the book. Okay, textile design. See the value of sketchbooks, ceramics, jewelry, fashion. I guess they're showing all the areas where being able to sketch is, one of those requisite tools. Theater design, illustration, painting. Oh, that's a section on applied sketching. Okay, the developing stage, special events and occasions. How about courtroom artists? Nature, animals and birds. So there's a lot of good material in here in terms of, like, if a person, decided to take this apart and use it for collage or whatever. Again, I'm not ready to do that. I am trying to, I should address that point before we hit the end here. I do not know what my next category will be. And I guess I would want to hear from you in the comments whether or not you have interest in other things like home decor books, like actual gardening books, personal development, writing. Like, give me a feel for that, because if you don't want them, if you are not interested, then I'm not interested in doing them, because it's a waste of everyone's time. So if there is an interest, I will carry on. I do have some other books that are that I think you would find interesting. They're kind of almost one-ofs in a sense that they don't fit in nicely into a category. but I can think of a couple that are oversized. I believe they're first editions, and they are gorgeous. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I will see if I can make it happen. Thanks so much for joining me. If you like what you see, then please give me a thumbs up, write a comment, and be sure to subscribe. We are still working our way to 500 subscribers so that we can have the giveaway. And I think I'd also like to perhaps do a sale in my Etsy shop as well when we hit that red letter day. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.